Here we are, the box office report for this weekend, guys. Let's go over the top 5. Number 1 was The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard with $11.6 million. Number 2 was A Quiet Place Part 2, $9.4 million. It's still keeping up there, guys. Number 3 was Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway with $6.1 million. Number 4 was The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It with $5.1 million. And rounding up the top 5 again, the top 5 was Cruella, $5.1 million. Okay, but what happened with In the Heights? The In the Heights dropped all the way down to the 6th spot after the 2nd spot last week. We'll talk a little bit about that after we take a look at The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard's numbers. Now, guys, this was also released internationally, so I watched the trailers for this, and I haven't been able to go out and see movies yet because here, where I live in Canada, the theaters are still closed down. Don't get me triggered about it. And apparently it's not going to be opened up until the end of July, so I'm going to even be missing Black Widow, guys. I'm so angry. I'm so triggered. But anyway, let's let me digress here. Let's talk about Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard numbers. Domestically, it made 17 million. Internationally, 80,000. So it wasn't released wide internationally, but the domestic numbers was 17 million. Is that what they were expecting? I would have to say so. It wasn't expected to be a huge hit. I mean, the first movie did make some money, but I guess internationally we'll have to wait to see when those numbers come in. I'm guessing it's probably going to crack around 40 million. And when all said and done, yeah. The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, number 1 spot, but A Quiet Place 2 is still keeping up there with the 2nd spot. It's now reached 221 million worldwide, 125 million domestically, and I think the budget for it was only like 50 million or something like that, right, guys? It wasn't that much, but guys, that budget and the numbers for A Quiet Place is really mind-blowing, and I'm happy for Emily Blunt and John Krasinski because they back-ended part of their deal that they would get paid more on the backside depending on how well it did at the box office. And just thinking that the window got shrunk from 90 days to 45 days for them, it's kind of a bummer for them, but A Quiet Place 2 is getting really good numbers and it's getting really good buzz. I haven't seen it yet. I still want to see it. It's still on my must-see list. That's cool. Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway. 90 million worldwide, only 20 million domestically to keep the 3rd spot. It was like it was 3rd spot last week too. So it's a kids movie. It's going to stay in the top 5 probably for next week too. Let's not dwell on that. Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, still keeping up there with 142 million. In the Heights. I just wanted to quickly talk about Cruella. Sorry. 64 million for Cruella worldwide is 159 so far. And yeah, that's why they're making a sequel to that. It's keeping in there in the 5th spot. But I'm surprised that it wasn't bumped out by In the Heights, which is 19 million domestically, 2.1 internationally. So for 21 worldwide, 21.7. We'll say that. I'll give you even that much, right? It's a musical that a lot of people just aren't going out to see. Or they're streaming. It's on the streaming service too, isn't it? For me, guys, I never really dug the trailers. It wasn't my bag. I do like musicals. It's just, I never got anything about it that made me want to go, yeah, I want to check that out. People who have seen it have told me that it's good. It'll be in the queue eventually, but I mean, come on, I got all these other movies like Quiet Place 2 that I still need to see, and Cruella I haven't seen, so come on. In the Heights, your priority, my priority to see you is way down there, and I'm guessing that's the same case with a lot of people. That's why it's not in the top 5, because it came in the 6th spot. Now, there were some other releases that did come out, but they never even came close to the top 10, so there's no point in really talking about that. Spirit Untamed, Mighty Orphans, The House Next Door, Meet the Blacks 2, Wrath of Man. Wrath of Man is hanging in there, number 10. Okay. All right, let's move on with this Batman story. The Flash set photos give first look at Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne. Okay, guys, now you know that the Flash movie was going to have Michael Keaton's Batman in it, and it's also going to have Ben Affleck's Batman in it. So we'll take a look at the cast here too. And of course, the director Andy Muschietti released the new logo of that Michael Keaton's Batman is going to be having with some blood on it. So we know now that he's going to be in the suit, and he's also going to be just Bruce Wayne. And that's what the set photos reveal today. that's what the set photos revealed today. Here he is on set. Now, you can't make out too much. I mean, come on. He's in a suit. It looks like he's near some stairs. It really doesn't reveal too much. Let's try to blow that up a little bit more. No. So, yeah, there he is on the set. You can't see really too much. It looks like it's even between takes because somebody's got a mask on there. So he's probably just waiting in between scenes. But there are other pictures out there that don't show really too much. There's Barry Allen with him just his back towards the camera, and you can see that he's talking to him at least there on the set. So, okay. That's pretty much all they show. And as I said, the other pictures just really don't show that much because you can't even make Michael Keaton out. But the cast for the Flash movie is pretty cool. Ben Affleck is Batman is going to be back, but there is a casting change. Ron Livingston is taking over the father Henry Allen role. Okay, so it's going to be a different father than what was in Batman vs. Superman and Justice League. So that'll be different. Michael Keaton, Batman is, yeah, that's cool. Iris West is still going to be played by Kirstie Clemens, that was in the Snyder Cut that we all saw. Maribel Verdú is Nora Allen. Okay, so we do get to see her mother, Saoirse Monica Jackson. Sasha Calle is playing Supergirl, and we're going to talk about Supergirl right now because there's some new costume photos that we're going to take a look at. The Flash set photos reveal Sasha Calle's Supergirl in full costume. Now, I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Sasha Calle. I don't know her lineage. I'm sorry, guys, but it does look like she's maybe not. Who cares? Don't put my foot in my mouth. But let's just look at the photos, guys. I don't know where she's from. I should have researched that. If I'm bringing you the news, I should do that. But some of them people out there will be looking at this photo and go, ooh, I don't know. Obviously, it's going for that kind of ribbed look that most superhero costumes have these days. It's got some weird, the abs. The abs look weird there. They don't look all that well, all that good. So there, yeah, that's what I said. Okay, so there she is. There she is right there. Sasha. Guys, obviously she doesn't have the cape on there. She's on the steps there. Ooh, hey, look at the steps in the background. Are those the same steps that Michael Keaton was on or going towards? Is this in the same scene? That would be interesting to see Supergirl land down with Batman. She's on wire, so the suit's going to look distorted to begin with anyway. But I like the crest. The crest looks good. And I know a lot of people out there will be complaining that she doesn't have the blonde hair, but in the comics, she did have some brown hair in some iterations. And you got to remember, this Flash movie is taking place in like the Flashpoint scenario, right? As far as we can understand and dissect from the little glimpses of the story, why they're bringing in all these other Batmans too, right? So it is sort of different universes. So this is a different universe, Supergirl. We may still get a blonde Supergirl, which I would like to see because I'm a little bit more classic that way. But hey, if they're going for this kind of a Supergirl look, I got no problem with that. The costume, I think, will look better once it's in the proper lighting and stuff. You get hints of the Man of Steel arm bracer type thing on the arms and stuff. We'll have to wait and see how it looks. I can tell you this, it looks a whole lot better than the Miss Marvel costume that some set photos got released of. Those ones, oof. I don't know about Miss Marvel, guys. That one's going to have to come a long way. But the crest looks good. Muschietti seems to have really gotten behind her as the casting for Supergirl, so we'll have to wait and see how that works out. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's going to be okay. Ooh, today's show is not that good. I'm having a lot of blunders, but who cares? Shazam! Fury of the Gods photo shows Shazam Family's new suits. Yes. Now, apparently there are some new castings for the family. Who, remember in the first movie when they all transformed and they got their suits? That this guy is going to be played by somebody different. He's going to be played by somebody from Hawaii Five-0 or something like that. Let's just take a look at that in a little bit. Pull back till we can see all of them. I like this. Obviously, it looks flashy, it looks sheeny. There's something about these costumes, though, that's starting to wear a little bit. I mean, they all look flashy. They all look like they have that kind of aesthetic to it, that bubbly look that even the Supergirl costume had this. And I'm just getting tired of that kind of look. It very looks the same. Right? It's got that same aesthetic. I wish they would get away from that. But it is a comic book movie, so of course they look like comic book characters. Now, okay, who else is different? The girl here, Mary. Mary's a little bit different. She's played by the same actress who was playing her in the movie. So remember in the first movie, she was played by somebody different. I'm not going to blow that up too much. But you can see here in the background that it is a different actress playing Mary in this. And there you can see that. I think that is a different guy, right? But yeah, Mary's now going to be played by the same actress who plays her in the actual on-costume look. So I got no problem with that. What's her name? All of this was released by David Sandberg. Grace Fulton is her name. And I think she looks great in her costume. So that's cool if you can keep the continuity a little bit more familiar like that. I think that's fantastic. But for the most part, I think they all look good. Other than my little criticism about the way that the suits all look the same now. I mean, could you really tell the difference between these and Jupiter, that Jupiter series on Netflix, Costumes? Not Jupiter Ascending. I can't remember. The one that got canceled. And, you know, Flash is coming out in 2023, June 2nd. So it's still 2 years away, guys. 2 years away for The Flash, and they're working on it, so that's cool. And of course, Black Adam's almost going to be wrapping soon, so that's really good news. And hopefully we'll get to see Black Adam face off against Shazam. Let's round out the day by talking about Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes has dropped a new trailer today, guys. The second official trailer, and if you haven't checked it out yet, I think it's much better than the first one. It gave us a lot more to chew on. And I did a trailer reaction for it that's going to be up on the channel right now. I had to do that, and that's why we're going to have fewer stories today, because I did that and processed that through. So if you want to see my trailer reaction for that, I'll leave links to that up in the cards above. I thought it was a really cool trailer. Go check it out. Yeah, Snake Eyes is something that I'm really looking forward to. I'm thinking that it's going to be a big movie that hopefully a lot of people will go out and see. And that's pretty much the way that it's been today in the realm of movie news. Guys, it's a 24-hour news cycle for me. Basically, if I miss something today, I'll definitely get to it tomorrow. Unless something big drops, then we'll get right on that, like a new trailer or something like that, like the Snake Eyes trailer today, and how it kind of fed into today's stories and took away from me putting out a huge video. But we don't really need that. I'm hoping that some of these will catch with you guys, and you'll let me know what you thought about them in the comments below. And that's pretty much it. All right, that's it. You're watching Mirror Domains. If you like what you've seen, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe right there.